Mahjong is obviously a game that we've covered in this series, and one that will come up countless times anytime you cover the entire lineup of a Japanese game console. There's a spin-off game that is basically the solitaire equivalent and is known by several names, including Shanghai and Taipei. These are puzzle games that take Mahjong tiles and configure them in pairs on a preset game board. The goal is to pair up tiles that can be seen, as the tiles are stacked by layers, and clear the board. Of course, there's always a catch, which is that the tiles must be able to slide out via a free opening on the left or right, much like you would expect in a real-life stack. In addition, because it's a puzzle game, the setups aren't random, but rather predetermined stacking of specific tiles. It's because the game is more about knowing the pairs and clearing them with some degree of skill and patience that I just have never been able to get into variations of this game, and Shanghai 2 is no exception. Believe it or not, the game was actually released in the West and was somewhat popular on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. It was released first, however, on Japanese computers and of course the PC Engine CD. The original game appeared in HuCard form on the PC Engine, but for some reason all of the sequels remained exclusive to the CD platform. This is an odd choice because I don't see any leap in terms of graphics, the game wasn't that visually impressive to begin with, and the soundtrack is definitely not something that required the CD format. Perhaps it was a marketing choice, but just like several other titles we've seen in the past, this is a complete waste of technology. You basically can pick from 6 different configurations and attempt to clear them in a normal tile set, alternative tile set, or a timed set. I chose to only tackle the easiest configuration with the normal tiles and no time limit, and even then it took me 45 minutes to complete this. I'm betting you could do it much faster if you memorize the configuration, but that's a strategy that goes against everything I come to gaming for. I want to be reactionary, not memorizing tile sets. Either way, this was an addictive game for some on both consoles, and as Taipei on Windows platforms, so it's clearly got an audience, and you definitely don't need to know Japanese to play it. As for me, I don't have any reason to return to Shanghai 2 or any other games in this series.